A newly proposed plan could change how and who residents in Dearborn can vote for in the next election.
With the city's charter up for revision next week, many are advocating for more representation in their neighborhood, especially on the city's south end. Our Ibrahim Samra has more from Salina Elementary School in Dearborn.
Dirt, dust, and muck, plants and pollution coming from trucks. For students at Salina schools on Dearborn South End,
children here don't know any better. This is like second nature to them.
It's become the norm.
There's just puppy you can smell stuff.
Yeah. You can smell stuff?
Bad stuff.
Hello.
Hi.
But as school principal Iman Ali Ahmed says, it's a problem.
On the north side, we have all the trucking companies, the metal and scrap yards, the junk yards.
One that can be seen from one end of the building,
but lots of pollution,
to another, felt by those who run on the track team next to each other.
Especially with our outdoor sports, you can really tell a difference, the way it impacts our athletes.
It can be smelt by students inside and out.
Does anybody have asthma in your family?
My sister has asthma and it really affects her when she walks.
The issues that they're experiencing with the pollution, the noise pollution, what they're seeing around the factories, what they smell, they think it's normal. Oh, it smells outside. There's nothing they're going to do. There's nothing that they can do. And they rely on our elected officials, we rely on our elected officials to do something about it.
But in Dearborn, mapping who that isn't clear. For folks on the west side, it is. 6 city council members live there, while on the east side, just 1. But in the south, none. For the Charter Commission, made in the west, 1 on the east. But in the south, it's the same story. One that advocate Muna Mawadi is trying to change through a unique opportunity that comes just once every 12 years, revising the city's charter.
What I'm advocating for is the commission to change our election system into a ward system, an all-ward system, or a districted election system, where each region of the city of Dearborn has their own representative. They're guaranteed their own representative on city council.
Implementing wards or districts in the city the size of Dearborn has been done before. In fact, cities like Detroit, Rochester, Ypsilanti, and Pontiac are just some that have already done it. But why hasn't Dearborn? For some, it's about division.
No matter what, you don't need to divide our neighborhoods.
And about voting for the best candidate.
I do not want anyone to say that all the seats are going for the West people, because they work hard for it. They go and knock doors.
But for others, like Austin Ramos, who lives in Dearborn's southwestern Outer Drive neighborhood,
Good, how are you?
He says no one ever comes knocking on his. That is until resident advocate for wards in Dearborn, Al-Muntar Al-Hadi did.
Some of our biggest issues is just being neglected on this side of Telegraph.
So you don't feel like you're being heard?
Yeah, correct. Yep, my mom's only, a few blocks that way on the other side of Telegraph, but she had a pool. She gets her street plowed. We don't get the same services.
Services that West End resident Mark Petrie has enjoyed in his neighborhood over the last 10 years.
I mean, how many people really are looking for wards here on the west side of town?
Well, that's a good question.
And while where he lives is well represented, he's on board for wards, which left me thinking,
why do you care about making this change?
Certainly, I'm aware, especially in the south, there's issues with pollution, and it's not as if it's been completely ignored.
Last month, Dearborn Mayor Abdullah Hamoud suing a local scrapyard company on the city's south end after more than 16 health hazard violations. And while his voice has helped, Principal Iman says it can't compare to someone speaking up for the south end each and every day.
I think either living or truly working and being in the neighborhood every day makes a difference, because they get to see day in and day out what it's like to experience what the residents and the neighbors are experiencing.
And again, this is an opportunity that only comes every 12 years. So next week, Wednesday, June 7th, the Charter Commission will have a chance to vote on whether or not Dearborn will become a warded one. Reporting here in Dearborn, I'm Ibrahim Samra, and this is CBS News Detroit.